You all know the story because you've been with us on this journey for the last 6 months, 8 months, right? After a large rainstorm, our tree gave out and it fell through the back door of the youth house, through the living room, and out the front door of the youth house. And in that time, we've been on a journey, right? We've been on this journey to figure out what to do, how to replace, how to serve our church best. We removed the tree, and we removed the house. Our vestry sat down and came together, not just to replace the youth house, but our vestry sat down and said, what is our strategic vision, and our plan, and our hopes for the church? And we had a retreat where we said, yes, we need space for our youth, and we need space for our atrium, and we need space for our adults. We also need more space for our fellowship. Downstairs we can have about 80 folks breaking bread, sharing a meal together. We said a lot of events, we have 100 folks or more, and we all just kind of stand there and wonder who gets a seat and who doesn't. We said we need more space for our fellowship. So we also want to have space for an elevator, because our church is not convenient. And if you have any issues navigating stairs, then it is not accessible for you, and that's not okay. We say it's not okay just because you have trouble walking up and downstairs, that you can't be part of our community. You can't break bread with us. And we want to do something about that. And so we had our vision, and we came up with an audacious goal, and we said, we're going to try to raise this much money. We started working with our architect. The architect who built the original building, it was here. And then he built the addition to the building that began right here. And we said, can we do this? And what does it look like financially? And we came up with a plan. It was big and scary. And the first week, many folks said, there's no way we will ever achieve that goal. The second week, people said, you know what? We might get there. And the third week, we finished. And in 3 weeks, the generosity of the church, we stepped up and said, we put forth a big goal, we reached it. Although, please know, we're still accepting donations. But we reached it in just 3 weeks because I think the folks of the church, you know, and you see the need that we have this before us, and we need to do more. We have been working on designs. We've been working with a contractor and our architect to design, build, to save money, and create the final plans and the final designs of where the expansion will go and what will that include. I got an email today saying this week, hopefully, the building committee will receive detailed architectural designs. And that's exciting and good. We went and talked to the bank about the construction loan and what that will look like, so that as we're receiving capital fund donations, we can pay off our builders as we go along. And this week we went to the diocesan council. That's kind of the last red tape, that we can't do anything without the diocesan approval. And so we went with a big binder full of all of our documents, of our plans, of our needs, of the designs, of our costs. And they were so excited and so impressed with what we had and what we put together. Our building committee, several folks from the building committee came to answer all their questions. And they kept asking, what are we doing? What are we achieving? But they never asked us why. And we left. And I didn't want to rock the boat, right? So we left. But I thought, that's the first question. That should be the first question on all of our minds, of why are we building? Not what are we building, but why. I'm excited to talk about Nehemiah this morning. We don't often talk about Nehemiah, so you don't hear a lot of Nehemiah sermons. But today is your day. Nehemiah was written right after the exile. The exile was that great time, right, where the people of Israel, the dynasty of King David, had come to an end. There's King David and his son Solomon, all the way down to King Josiah, a very wise and noble king. And then his last of the son gave away the kingdom. The Babylonians came in, like Viking raiders. They came, they stole, and they took, and they plundered, and they tore down houses, and they tore down the temple, and they destroyed Jerusalem. And the wisest, and the cleverest, and the most beautiful, and the strongest, they took as slaves back to Babylon. For that whole generation, and for the next generation, and the next, for 3 generations. For 70 years, people lived away from home, away from their families, away from all they love, until the grandchildren, for whom Israel was just an idea, they had this opportunity. The Persians rose up and conquered the Babylonians. And as the Persians were wiping out the Babylonians, they met all these Israelites. And what do we want to do with these folks? They said, well, you can let us go home. And King Cyrus was like, okay. So they gathered all their instruments and they processed home. They sang and they danced and they were overwhelmed with joy. Back to their homeland, back to their name, back to their ancestry. And what did they do? They rebuilt. They built their houses. They rebuilt the walls. They rebuilt the temple. And then Nehemiah calls them together and says, guys, it's not what are we doing, but why? Why are we here at the beginning? That's the scripture we have today. The scripture is, he called forth all the people of Israel that came and stood before the water gate. Now imagine, if you're just returning for the first time to your city, the city of David, after 3 generations, the first thing that we're going to do is build the walls, right? Let's build walls so that we can't be taken into slavery again. And the key to that, the key to having a fortified city is having water. Because if you don't have water, the enemy comes and they just stand outside the gates and wait until you die of thirst. So the first thing they do is they build a wall around the water. And now we have life. And now we can be sustained. And the water gate is a symbol of our hope. The water is a symbol that we have life and future, and it is here. And so he gathered all the people to stand in front of the water gate, the place that was security, national security. And he unrolled the scroll of Isaiah, and they began to read. He unrolled the Torah, not the scroll of Isaiah. He unrolled the Torah. It says that all the people, the men and the women and the children, and all the people to understand came from the earliest morning. Now this word is in millions. So the sermon goes over 15 minutes, right? Eyes begin to glaze over. If we go over an hour for church, it's like the revolution is about to start. And they said they sat from early morning until the end of the day reading the scroll, reading the Torah, to say, why are we here? We're not just here to build homes. We're not here to build our temple. We're here because there is a God. Because there is a God. The God who called us as a people, who chose us, who named us the Israelites, brought us into this land, gave it to our ancestors. The God of all hope did not abandon us in our exile. The God of life did not leave us in Babylon. The God of all that is remembered us and drew us back and brought us to freedom and gives us this new freedom. Why are we here? Because God is here. Why are we doing this? Because God is with us. And that's the good news. That's the good news, that God is with us. Jesus stands up and affirms that years later. He says, there is good news. God is here, and God is with you. He does that in the scripture today. He returns back to his hometown. Jesus had already begun his mission. He'd already begun healing people and doing miracles. And he goes into Nazareth, and people had heard of all the wonders Jesus is doing. This local, hometown kid, this kid that we knew, and then raised up and made boys going to synagogue and got into mischief, right? This kid that we love, Jesus. He comes and he stands and he unrolls the scripture of Isaiah. And he reads, he says, and the oppressed will be set free, the prisoners released, the captives set home. And this is the year of God's favor. And then he drops the mic and he walks out of the synagogue. Right? This is his moment. He says, you are hearing the very best news, the greatest news, the only news that you ever need for the rest of your life is that God is here. God's with you. And that's why Jesus goes on to his mission and on to his ministry. It's not just the healings. It's not just the wise teachings. It is that God is here. That God's not forgotten you. The people of Nazareth simply have to look out the doors of the synagogue to see the Roman garrison. They simply have to look out to see their friends who have been crucified because they have pushed against Rome. They don't have to look into the crowd to see the tax collectors who are coming to take their money to service and pay for the soldiers that will take their lives and their children's lives. The people are living under oppression. The people are living in exile in their own country. And they're wondering through this country, saying, well, when will our suffering end? When will the pain stop? When will we be freed and liberated? And Jesus stands up and says, today. Your spiritual freedom begins today because God loves you so much He sent me to live for you and to die for you and to even come back for you. The year of the Lord's favor begins right now. God is here. God is with you. Why are we building out St. Thomas? We have this wonderful responsibility. We have children, so many children, and we can teach them and raise them up to experience Scripture and to experience life through their Scriptures. We have a responsibility to teach them our traditions. And then they grow up and they become teenagers. There's middle school, high school. Gosh, do you remember how hard that was to be in middle school? how scary that was to kind of transition into adulthood, but you're not an adult yet, and we have this wonderful opportunity to give them education, to love them, and to teach them how beloved they are, not just at their best, but at their worst. So that when they go out into the world, and they go to college, and what's beyond high school, that at their worst moments, when they mess up, and when they fall, and when they fail, they know that they are truly God's beloved because we showed them that. We taught them. And then we as adults, we have a responsibility to ourselves to learn, and to educate, and to grow, and to have Christian education, and to have Bible studies, and to have fellowship opportunities, and to have choral events, because it's awesome. We have the responsibility as adults to pursue our lifelong journey as Christians and to educate our faith. We have a responsibility to all members of our parish, whether you walk upstairs or not, to be part of us, to come and share meals and laugh and cry with us. But why are we doing this? Because we go out into the world and it's hard. And there are days when you feel like you're an exile. There are days when you go out into the world and you feel oppressed. Maybe you feel oppressed by your boss. You feel oppressed by your family. You feel oppressed by loneliness. There are times you go out and you feel like the world is just too much. And I feel like a prisoner in my own skin, in my own life. And there's times when you can barely get the strength to get up and walk. And then we come to church. A church where God is. Where God is alive. And God is vibrant. And He gives us the strength to stand up and walk. To walk out the doors. It gives us the strength to, in those moments when we are the ones with power, to find the oppressed and to liberate them. When we find ourselves in a time when we are wealthy, to use that to remember the poor among us, and to know that when we are those poor, that God is willing to send people to lift us up. That this is the year of the Lord's favor, and it begins at St. Thomas every Sunday. Why do we do this? It's because God is here, and God is present. Because when we come into the church, we experience God. We experience God through our worship, through our education, and through our community, and through our love. Why do we do this? Because God is alive, because God is here. And we believe we have a responsibility to share that with everyone. With everybody who walks through these doors, and everybody who drives down Acton Road, and everybody who's ever felt lost, and everybody who's ever felt broken, and everybody who's ever wondered if there is love greater than they've ever experienced. We have that responsibility. So why are we going? Why do we go to great effort? Why do we give our money? Why do we give our time? Why do we give all our patience? Because there is a God. And God is here. And God is with us.